4 years ago, when I was still working as an employee with absolutely zero business experience, I invested $5,000 for 6 months of business coaching. I didn't have $5,000 just sitting around. And at the time, I didn't even have a business yet. And if you're a healthcare professional thinking about starting your own practice, or you're hesitant to invest, this story is for you. My name is Bree, and I help pelvic floor physical therapists build successful practices through our business mentorship, PelviPreneur. I do this with my twin sister, Alyssa, and we built a multi-six-figure practice, Renew Health, in Western Massachusetts. So at the time, I really been thinking about starting my own practice for many years. I always talked about my ideal clinic. I talked about the patients I wanted to serve, the programs that I wanted to create. But every time I started researching what it actually looked like to start a business, I honestly just felt completely overwhelmed. Overwhelmed with not knowing different, business plans, marketing strategies, finances, legal structures. I really just didn't know where to begin because I'm a PT and I didn't go to, of course, business school. And that's when I stumbled across a business coach online who specialized in helping healthcare professionals and specifically PTs and OTs start their own practices. And at the time, her program was $5,000. It was $5,000 for 6 months of coaching. Let me paint you a picture of even my financial situation at the time. I mean, I was making decent money as a PT, but just like many of you guys, I had student loans, rent, car payments, and just, of course, normal life expenses. And honestly, when I saw the $5,000 price tag, I didn't think that it was feasible. It honestly felt like a lot of money to me. I spent a few days just kind of thinking about it, even thinking like, well, what if I spend this money and it doesn't work? Or should I just figure out this stuff on my own? And maybe I'll invest later when I have more money. But then something hit me that really changed my whole perspective. I started thinking about even my patients and the people that I treat every single day. I wanted to think about what do I ask even my patients to do? I asked them to invest in themselves. And at the time when I was, working in a hospital-based system, I really wasn't, concerned about the money piece, but I was still asking them to invest their own energy, asking them to invest time out of their busy lives, a lot of them being, new moms. I was asking them to invest in themselves to even just do a treatment program that I suggested. So I felt like it would be super hypocritical for me to ask others to do things that I was, refusing to invest in myself. And I really felt like that was, again, hypocritical, especially telling a mom that she needs to be able to prioritize her health and really invest in the treatment plan, but I wouldn't invest in learning how to be a better clinician or even be a business owner so I can help patients like her to be better. Again, I felt like it was pretty hypocritical that I just wouldn't invest the time, money that I really should have. So I talked to my sister and we started looking at, again, different ways to invest. Just, for us too, talking about really what's the real cost of not investing in ourselves. And that's what we thought about in the beginning was how much is it going to cost us to really stay where we were? What we came up with was, well, if we don't invest now, we're probably not even going to start. We're not even going to probably quit our jobs and start the clinic that we really wanted. We also thought about how many patients would we not help because we were too scared to invest in learning, really to make the leap. How many people suffering with pelvic floor dysfunction that we had the specialty in that many people in our area just don't have, we just wouldn't be able to serve our community in the way that we really wanted to. And how many people would that potentially hurt because we just were going to stay stuck where we were. We also thought about, do we figure everything out for free? And when we looked at all the other successful business owners in our area, we realized that they weren't doing that, right? The people that had cash-based practices, they invested heavily in their clinical skill set, but they also invested a lot in business education. So we really just kind of looked at what it would look like from a financial perspective, right? We looked at how much money would we need to be able to make in order to really recoup the money from the business coaching that we were going to spend money on, and also how much would we need to be able to make in order to just pay ourselves. And that's where we really made the decision to invest. And this is where honestly our scrappy mindset came in handy, because I asked myself, what is the worst case scenario here? What if I invest all of this money and business doesn't work out. And Alyssa and I spoke and we realized that we had tons of options. We could continue working at the current jobs that we had. I could get another staff position literally anywhere else. I could pick up per diem work, right? PTs are always in demand. We could do travel contracts, which actually pay really well. Or again, I could even just go back to my previous employer if I really needed to. So when we made a pros and cons list, we realized that honestly, it would be pretty foolish if we didn't spend the $5,000 to invest in ourselves and invest in the clinic that we've been talking about for literally years. We talked about owning a clinic when we were in PT school almost 10 years ago. So then that $5,000 didn't seem like a crazy amount. We knew that we could handle it and we were going to put in the work no matter what happened. I want to ask you, what if this did work? And also, I want to ask you, like, what would it take for you guys to invest? Again, it doesn't have to be the $5,000, 6 month coaching program, but what would it take for you guys to make that investment? And when you think about your patients, maybe some of you guys already have a clinic, right? And you're investing or you're asking your patients to invest time, money, effort to get better, and you make them believe that the investment will pay off, right? Because you guys believe in your clinical skill set that you guys will get those patients better. But why do you not think about business education in the same way? For your patients, you help them see the bigger picture. You help them understand that the cost of treatment is really tiny compared to the cost of living with their problem forever. You help them see that this isn't just an expense, it's really an investment in their quality of life, their ability to show up at work, their ability to show up in their relationships, and honestly in their future. So why are we treating business education like it's an expense instead of an investment? Here's the hard truth. If you don't believe enough in your own potential to invest in developing it, why should your patients believe in investing in your services? Your willingness to invest in yourself sends a message. It says you're serious about excellence. It says that you're committed to literally being the best provider that you can be. It says you practice what you preach about the importance of investing in better outcomes. And on the flip side, if you're always looking for the cheapest, easiest way to learn business skills, if you're trying to piece together free information instead of investing in proven system, what does that say about your commitment to success? So what did I get for my $5,000 investment? Everything I needed to start my practice the right way. But the most valuable thing that I got from the investment was the alignment between what I teach and what I practice. Now, when I tell a patient that investing in their health is the smartest financial decision that they can make, I actually mean it because I've proven it in my own life by investing in my professional development and also in my personal development. I spend thousands of dollars working with a health coach. So when I recommend a treatment plan that requires time and financial commitment, I do it with complete confidence because I know the power of making strategic investments in better outcomes from a clinical standpoint, from a business standpoint, and then also for my mental and physical health. I've also learned that when you invest in yourself at that level, you show up differently. You take yourself more seriously. You're more committed to implementing what you learn because you have skin in the game. This mindset shift has served me in every aspect of my business since then. When I need to invest in better equipment, better marketing, additional training, I approach those decisions from a place of strategic thinking, and I don't make those decisions out of fear. So here's my challenge to you. If you're listening to this right now and you're hesitant, stop being a hypocrite about investment. If you believe your patients should invest in their health and recovery, then you need to believe and invest in your own professional development and success. So if you're a pelvic floor PT or OT who's serious about starting your own practice, stop looking for the free solutions and start looking for the proven ones. Stop treating business education like it's an expense and start treating it like the strategic investment it is. Just like you guys invest so much money in clinical mentorship. Through PelviPreneur, both Alyssa and I help pelvic floor therapists build successful practices using the same strategies and honestly the same mindset that really transformed our careers. If you're ready to practice what you preach and you really want to make a strategic investment Let's talk. You guys can drop a comment below and join our free circle group so you can connect with us and connect with like minded individuals. And again, we're going to put a link to that in the show notes below.